Yep, he's the guy. He's the man. He is my manager, our manager, Chelsea Football Club's manager, Thomas Tuchel, has guided Chelsea into the FA Cup final once again for I think the third year out of 4 years or something mad like that, but nevertheless we have a really good record in the FA Cup, and maybe it's about to go one better because we will be playing Leicester or Southampton in the FA Cup final. Chelsea won, the invincible Manchester City 0, even though nobody has called them invincible because, quite frankly, they're not invincible. Quite clearly they're not invincible because, yeah, as I said, a Thomas Tuchel masterclass in tactics and game management has prevailed once again as Chelsea get into the FA Cup final, as I already said, 1-0 over Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, which knocks them well off their perch in terms of the quadruple. As we know, City were going for the quadruple of the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Champions League, and of course the Carabao Cup final, which they do play against Spurs and Jose Mourinho next weekend. And yeah, that is now no longer possible simply because of Thomas Tuchel. What a manager he is proving to be for us, and maybe I am over-exaggerating just a tad because obviously we've had it in previous spells with previous managers like Antonio Conte, Maurizio Sarri, even Frank Lampard you could say, where we've had a good start to his managerial career at Chelsea and we've done really, really well during this so-called honeymoon phase. But this one feels a lot different because he's been here since mid-January. We've only actually lost one game, if you think about it, to West Brom. I know it was a 5-2 defeat and it was absolutely embarrassing and humiliating, but nevertheless, in every single big game, every single test that Thomas Tuchel has faced so far as Chelsea manager, he has passed with, flying colours, if that's a phrase. I'm not even sure if that's the phrase, but nevertheless, we're going to go with it because, yeah, the adrenaline is really kicking in this video because we have beaten probably the best side in the world of football at this moment in time. I think it's probably fair to say that, and yes, they didn't pop out like a full-strength team today, which quite does surprise me, but nevertheless, their second team could walk the league. I mean, it's that good. Their squad depth, I mean, Pep Guardiola himself, even though Kevin De Bruyne once again came off injured, he was starting today and he did actually do quite well, and even though he did quite well, he was really restricted to how well we, coped with his presence on the pitch, really. And yeah, overall, basically what I'm trying to say is I think we massively deserve to go through tonight. And yeah, once again, an absolute masterclass in tactics and game management once again from Thomas Tuchel. And overall, I think it was a game that was actually largely, controlled by us, I'm not going to lie, and especially in the first half. I actually think we kind of controlled the game in terms of possession. Yes, we didn't create many chances. We pretty much had one really good chance in the first half, and that was a chance that Ben Chilwell kind of squandered at the back post with a first-time volley. And obviously, we did get a goal disallowed in the first half as well from Hakim Ziyech, scoring pretty much an identical goal to the one that, he actually scored that was given early on in the second half, but in the first half that was given offside. But nevertheless, I think we had their number. I think we would have been the happier of the two sides, and I think Thomas Tuchel would have been the happier of the two managers going into the halftime interval. And of course, we kept going, we kept fighting at it, we kept going with the same tactical plan that Thomas Tuchel was going for, and it paid off in the end on 55 minutes when Mason Mount plays Timo Werner down the left hand side. Timo Werner with a really well-timed pass across the box to Hakim Ziyech, the perfect weight, the perfect position, and yeah, overall Hakim Ziyech falls over in the process but does in fact put it into the back of the net, which of course is all that matters in this case. Chelsea lead 1-0, and then after that, I think that, to be fair, from the start of the game you could probably tell that Chelsea were trying to play something of a counter-attacking game. I think in terms of the two lineups you could definitely see that City, to a certain extent, got it wrong. Pep Guardiola, to a certain extent, did get his game plan wrong, because I firmly believe he actually set up with, stopping Chelsea in mind rather than just playing to what City know and what they're good at, and I think that definitely doesn't really pay off, especially when you're a team as good as City are. They should just fully came out and gone, do you know what, we'll attack you and let's see what happens. I think because they played Fernandinho and Rodri in that double pivot and didn't start Gundogan, they kind of catered to Chelsea's strengths in a certain sense, where they kind of like, yeah, Chelsea are really good in transition, as we know, and once again that was well and truly on display how good we are in transition from defence to attack. And yeah, I think that he tried to win the midfield battle with Fernandinho and Rodri and offer that bit more protection to the back four for City, and didn't work out whatsoever in the end. But definitely from a Chelsea standpoint, I think it was pretty evident that we did set up for somewhat of a counter-attacking plan with Hakim Ziyech and Timo Werner, who of course are usually utilised when obviously we want to counter-attack teams, and it definitely paid off today. And I definitely think, especially for the last 10, 15, 20 minutes of the game, we kind of sat back a bit, invited a bit of pressure from City, and overall just relied on what we know, which is really good defensive solidity, apart from that game against West Brom. But nevertheless, Antonio Rudiger once again outstanding, Thiago Silva outstanding, Azpilicueta outstanding, Chilwell and Reece James, the wing-backs, just absolutely brilliant from a defensive standpoint and also going forward as well. Once again, we defended absolutely brilliantly brilliantly. Kepa well and truly making up for obviously the error in the 2019 Carabao Cup final. We all know what happened. I won't get into too much detail about it, but even though he didn't have to make too many good saves, he was there whenever we needed him to, and definitely didn't make any mistakes by a country mile. So overall, a really positive result and performance. As you can tell, I'm absolutely over the moon with this because we will be playing Leicester City or Southampton Football Club in the FA Cup final, I think on the 15th of May. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below, but I think that is the date that we will play the FA Cup final once again at Wembley. And yeah, overall, as a Chelsea fan, we do have a really exciting and just enticing end to the season. We're competing still on 3 fronts, of course. The Premier League, we're still going for top 4, even though it's going to be really tough to get into the top 4 because we're competing with West Ham, who even though they lost 3-2 to Newcastle today, are still in really good form and will take some stopping. We do play them next weekend. Also compete with Leicester, of course, who are still 3rd place, Liverpool. But yeah, it's going to be a real tough, end to the season in the Premier League to see if we can get top 4. We're into an FA Cup final now, as I said, against Leicester or Southampton, and we could potentially be on our way to another Champions League final as well for the first time since we won it back in 2012. We do have to win over 2 legs against Real Madrid, which is, massively easier said than done, but of course it is very much possible, and of course I have no reason whatsoever to not believe in Thomas Tuchel and this Chelsea team to make us, happy memories once again in football. And we could potentially, first of all, if Thomas Tuchel manages to get us into the top 4 first and foremost, then win us the FA Cup and get us into a Champions League final at least, let alone win the Champions League against Man City or PSG in the final if we were to progress, give him the keys to Stamford Bridge, give him absolutely anything he so pleases, because my god, if we do that, what a finish to a season. He's only actually been here for like 4 or 5 months as well, which is just absolutely staggering. He's not had a transfer window, not that he needs it with the squad depth we do have, but yeah, overall, Thomas Tuchel, what a manager, what a coach he is proven to be for us in a short period of time which he has been here. And yeah, it's going to be, I can't wait for the future under Thomas Tuchel. I can't wait for next season already, even though we still have so much to play for this season. Next season we could very much be in a title challenge, and I do think it will happen because of the squad depth we have, and of course Thomas Tuchel at the helm, which definitely does help our chances of competing for major honours going forward. And yeah, in terms of the attack as well, I think that Hakim Ziyech put in his shift. Obviously he did get the main goal, and Hakim Ziyech is kind of proven to be a little bit of a big game player for us, because it's not the first big game now. He has scored the decisive goal. He scored that goal against Atletico Madrid, and I think to my knowledge there's another game as well that I can't quite remember. Timo Werner as well, down that left hand side seems to be a regular pattern when we're trying to counter teams and try and soak up pressure and hit them on the break. It does seem that left hand side seems to be a little bit of a popular trend where, Mason Mount, whoever's in that number 10 role in the inverted winger position, runs down that left hand side, plays it down to Werner, who puts it across the box to Ziyech for an easy tap in. And yeah, honestly, what a performance from Chelsea overall. The perfect performance. Once again, I thought the game management overall from Thomas Tuchel and these players was absolutely top notch. I think it couldn't have gone any better from a defensive standpoint, and in terms of the overall game plan and the tactics we did employ to actually win this game in the end. As you can tell, I'm still absolutely over the moon. It's going to take a long time to sink in this result, because winning against Manchester City, who are running away with the Premier League title, are probably the favourites for the Champions League, and definitely 100% were the favourites for this FA Cup trophy before Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel came into town and well and truly scuffed those plans up. But nevertheless, I think that's where we're going to leave this video, because I want to go out and get this video edited, get it up, and hopefully you Chelsea fans can share some of my optimism in getting into the FA Cup final, and overall how good it feels to be a Chelsea fan under Thomas Tuchel at this moment in time. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like. It means more than you guys could ever imagine hitting a like on this video, because it helps me massively in terms of getting this video discovered in the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you could subscribe to the channel if you are new, that would mean the absolute world, because we are looking now to hit 1.6k subscribers on this channel as soon as we possibly can. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel continue to make us proud as Chelsea fans. We're into the FA Cup final on May 15th, and yeah, see ya.